They're all chicken.
Good morning, everybody. This is our Kickoff Solar Icons Mentor Factory call. I know I'll speak for Chris, as I often do until he corrects me, but we are super excited. This is something we've been putting together for about maybe 2.5, 3 weeks, toying with some different ideas, and we got really 4 key topics that we're going to touch on today. And obviously we have a very condensed time, being a 30-minute call, so we're going to do our best to make sure we hit everything. But I want to touch on quickly why we're doing this. When Chris and I popped Mentor, and I see a lot of familiar faces like Terry, who's been with us from day one, we didn't have anyone teaching us how to become a mentor at all. And this is not a knock on anybody, so please don't take it that way. Everything that Chris and I and anyone else that started day one, we had to FITFO. We had to go figure it out. It has been long nights. It has been tons of research. Thank God my wife, she's looking up net metering in every state, just everything. We did not have that blueprint. We knew how to sell, we knew how to recruit, but everything else, it literally was having to figure it out. It was trial by fire. And it was frustrating, but at the same time, we knew how big of a play this was. I'm going to mute all. We knew how big of a play this was, that it was worth the squeeze. It really was. So this is coming to you guys or for you guys, because we didn't have it. We don't want anyone on this team that wants that mentor path to have to do what we did. And it's not a pity party, throw us some likes or anything like that. We just want to make this as easy as possible for everybody. We want it to be crystal clear for everybody. We want everyone that has the dream of being a mentor and leading a huge organization to have that blueprint on exactly how to do it and what they need to do starting today going forward, right? Because it's not a light switch. All of a sudden your mentor, that's what happened to us. We're like, what do we do now? It was a pretty awful feeling. Chris handled it a lot better than I did. I was stressed. Like I had no idea. So anyway, Chris, anything you want to add on why we're here and what you're excited about?
Yeah, as mentors, if you look at, a lot of us obviously came from the real estate space. So we have a kind of a bigger picture understanding of what this word mentor is all about. To us, when we came in, the challenge for us was that we felt we weren't getting what we expected from the mentoring process, right? And so what do leaders do, right? Any great leader, when they point one finger out, they're going to look at the 3 pointing back at them and say, hey, what's our responsibility in this? And our responsibility was like what Aaron said, long hours, late nights, figuring stuff out. But we're not going to pass that problem forward. And how we view ourselves as mentors right now is not just mentoring you guys when you put a bill in the system for a proposal for a specific homeowner. It's about mentoring you guys from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3. So you actually have something to model. Are we perfect? By no means. Please don't hold us to that standard. But what we're going to lay out for you is what we've learned from our journey thus far to make sure that as you guys transition from tier 1 to tier 2, and if you have intentions or aspirations of being a tier 3 mentor, that you're fully prepared when that email from Rachel comes and says, hey, by the way, you qualify. Now you've got to go through Rachel, and she's a tough cookie. Okay. Let me tell you something. She's a tough cookie, right? So you don't want to hit that, crap factor and go, being on the phone, me and Aaron, we're like role playing stuff and blah, blah, blah. You're going to get that email and you're going to go, I'm ready. Let's do this. So that's what this journey's for.
Love that, man. Absolutely love it. I am going to share something with you, and this is coming from a humble place and not trying to brag, but I want you to know what we're going to put you through for the next several weeks is worth the squeeze. We just wrapped up, Chris and I, our first 2 weeks as mentor. My personal numbers, and this is just for this group, this is not for our mothership Solar Icons page, so please keep it private. First 2 weeks of being a mentor, I personally have $83,000 in commissions. If you would have told me that, yeah, I saw Lisa 100%. I still say, wow. Like my wife made a spread. I was like, are you sure? Can you triple check that thing? Like this play, guys, this dream is massive. And obviously those numbers are because each and every one of you has very little to do with me, but I want you guys to get that. The grind of what we're going to do, the accountability portion, which we're going to touch on. Oh my gosh, my friends. Oh my gosh. I've owned a lot of businesses. I've done pretty well. I've never seen anything like that. I didn't leave my house for 2 weeks. Like I didn't have to get in the car to show a buyer. And it blows my mind. And Chris's numbers are very, very similar. Not sure how transparent you want to open on that or not. But we're excited. Couple ground rules here. We're going to have homework each and every Wednesday. It's going to be due. It is what it is. You're going to get tougher love from both of us on here, and hopefully from each of you, right? Because part of accountability is us coming together as a group, as a family. We want to see everyone succeed, but you got to play all in. So you got to show up. Today is going to be a little bit of a free day, if you will. But one of our expectations, one of our standards is that when you show up, your camera's on, right? We want to make sure you guys are engaged, guys and gals, excuse me, that you're engaged, that we can get feedback when we come off and we're having higher level masterminds, that we're able to do that. And it's not just a black screen. And if for some reason this time doesn't work for you, I get it. We couldn't make every single person. Someone near to my heart was not able to do it. She just can't get on. We are going to record them to the best of our ability. I am famous for not doing it, but I'm getting better. So you can catch that replay at a later date that fits your schedule. Just know that homework still applies. So if you had to miss the time, do everything you can to block this part of the schedule. It's important. Being live, there is no substitution for watching it on replay, just because you can't come off mute, right? You're kind of stuck to where we're leading that and everyone else on this call. Chris, anything you want to add on the expectations?
One thing about leadership, guys, there's a lot of definitions of it, right? John Maxwell says it's influence, nothing more, nothing less. But I learned from Tony Robbins where he believes leadership's accountability, right? And accountability is accounting for someone's ability to be able to achieve that which they desire, and you're leading them down the path of. So when we look at accountability, the very first thing is you have to be self-accountable, right? Part of that self-accountability is making sure that you time block this, that this is on your schedule. It's the same bat time, same bat place every week. And you put yourself in the position that you can put your camera on. Again, if you can't keep your camera on, then what we're going to ask you to do moving forward is just catch the recording. Here's why. We're not going to lower the standard for how we're going to play. This team, Solar Icons, we have big plans for what we're going to do with this brand in this company. And we want you guys to be a part of that. And it starts now. Okay. So all we ask is that, when you show up, what does being coachable mean? It means putting yourself in a position where you can be coached. Driving, your video off, that's not putting yourself in the most optimal situation. So moving forward, just keep that in mind.
Love it, Chris. Very, very well said. So we are going to share this on our Facebook group, Solar Icons Mentor Factory. Note that we are keeping this separate, right? This is the accountability piece that the rest of the team, they were welcome to join, but they didn't self-select, right? Nope, no knock, no judgment. It's not for everyone. And that's part of what is going to make this core group so special. One of the things that we are going to be checking daily, and we're going to turn these in every single Wednesday. We're still trying to finish the format of it, but these are going to be shared with everybody. And it's not putting anyone's nose in it, but what you don't track, what you don't account for is never going to happen, right? And there's something magical. Chris and I have been doing this for years in real estate and other businesses. When you start to track these numbers, now we're able to coach everybody on the call versus flying blind, right? And I'll give you an example, and we'll go through what these mean. But here's a quick one. If someone calls me up and they're like, I'm just not having success at getting utility bills. Everyone else is winning, but just not me. If I can look at this KPI sheet and see that he had one conversation this week with a homeowner, guys, I don't care if you're Chris Hart or Terry Thomas. No one on this team is batting 1 for 1. It just doesn't happen like that. So guess where that pivot, where that coaching moment comes? It comes from having conversations. Or let's use the flip. They had 24 conversations this week, but didn't collect a bill. Guess what? They put in the work. They had conversations. Now we got to figure out what they're saying. Where can we tweak that language? Because that's where the disconnect is. So that's the power of really leaning in on this. And once again, we're gonna share this with everyone. We also want to keep it stupid simple. Stupid simple. We're not here to give everyone spreadsheets. You got to go track everything. But I want to go through these. And Chris, you jump in whenever you feel see fit. Number one. So the first 4, and by the way, they're in order. The first 4 are for the solar business, meaning like personal lead gen for getting bills and things like that. The last 2. And Chris and I are going to lean on this, is recruiting. We are going to have a recruiting conversation. It's important if you want to run a mentor business, guys. It just is. And we're going to teach you several ways that you can have those kind of numbers, 83 grand, and maybe not be the top recruiter. We're going to paint that picture for you, but that is part of it. So number 1 is conversations. How many conversations did you have from Wednesday to Wednesday? How many conversations? On a Post-it note, whatever you guys want to do. If you're doing a spreadsheet, I use a lot of Post-its. If you guys can see my desk, you'd laugh. But it's organized for me, right? It's just the way I work. I'm marking my conversations so I can see where I got off track. That's pretty self-explanatory. But that's conversations to get a utility bill. And then how many utility bills did you collect this week? Right. And this is a hard fact. It either got in your inbox, someone sent it to you, you can touch it, you can look at it. It's not oh, Terry, I'll give you one tomorrow, and they haven't done it yet. Right. That's cool to track all that, but that's not what this spreadsheet for. This is hard facts. Presentations. How many presentations? And for many of you, tier ones on this call, which I love because you're going to grow into the conversations around you. It's magical, my friends, magical. How many presentations? It might not have, if you're not a tier two yet, it might not be a presentation you led, but how many presentations were you on with a homeowner, with Chris, myself, right? How many mental reps were you taking? We're going to talk a lot about that as well. And then contracts signed. That's the ultimate goal. We got to get a contract signed for our work. Yes, Chris.
Yeah, real quick about presentations, guys. Aaron and I have had conversations about this, and every Monday we're on a tier 3 meeting, and there's a lot of talk about, we don't believe that people are really prepared after 3 mentor deals. Okay. And some of you guys may feel that going into being tier 2. Are you prepared to run a presentation after just watching it 3 times? So that's one of the things that we recognize, in that we're going to ask you guys to do your own presentations and record them so you can start getting these reps in practice, and we can coach you through it before you actually have to go and do it, and your full 100% commissions on the line. Okay. So keep that in mind as well.
And we're gonna take baby steps too. I don't want anyone, drinking from a fire hose right now. I know it's our first meeting. Chris and I are gonna be breaking down the presentation. I did a role play for Chris the other day, and he was blown away. He was like, dude, we got to have that on tape for the team. And so we're going to break it down, not only where you guys can mirror what we're doing, what success looks like, right? But we're going to break down why we chose the language we did, right? I mean, seriously, throw a hand up if like that's something you want, 100%. We're going to show you the slides, how we transition in between each slide, because that's important. That's something I don't hear anyone else in the company talking about. Those transitions, by the way, is how I can tell how often someone's done a presentation. True story. True story. I can see it instantly based on the transition. Like many of you right now, because you haven't had a lot of reps, could probably do the presentation, but you're going to push the down arrow on the slide deck, see what the slide is, and then talk about it. Not on this team. Not on this team. We're flowing. We're going to lead right into that next slide. It's going to be powerful. So contract signed. And then the last 2 on the recruiting side, you guys know where I stand. Like that's just my passion. I just love it. Is how many exposures. Exposure sounds weird, I know, and most people on our team aren't used to that word. So every time I share it on the Facebook, I always put in parentheses someone agreeing to watch a video. I want to be crystal clear on that. An exposure is not someone who joined. It's not someone who watched a video. It is someone that you had a conversation with, email, text, or phone, that agreed, if you sent them information or if you got them an invite to a Monday night live call, that they're going to be there. They're going to watch it. We can't control the outcome, right? We're going to coach on that, but that's what exposure means. It's you having a conversation. It's not you blanket sending out 8 videos that no one raised their hand for. Nope. That doesn't work. I wish it did, because I would have done it. It's you actually having a conversation. And then the ultimate goal, just like contract signed, is how many sellers joined your organization from Wednesday to Wednesday. Does this make sense on the KPIs that we're going to be tracking? Okay, cool. I see Terry. Love it. I can only see a handful of you, so that's awesome. The first 4, by the way, are company KPIs. We're not here to reinvent the wheel. I don't hear anyone in this company talking about the recruiting piece. And this is something that is massive as a mentor, right? In fact, Chris, you want to talk about this for a second?
Which piece exactly?
Okay, so I'll kind of leave it.
The mentor, like the money flow?
Yeah, I'll say kind of my thought and then you take it. So on that mentor call that we are on with corporate, we hear a lot where someone's like, I just popped mentor a week ago, but I haven't done a deal yet. I haven't been tagged. Happens a lot. And so there are 2 reasons for that, in our opinion, right? One is they didn't build an organization. And number 2, they didn't improve their influence either in their organization or inside of power. That's what I said. You don't have to be the number 1 recruiter to have a massive mentor business, my friends. In fact, I'll say is I don't believe Wally's a huge recruiter, but the guy has a great mentor business. But what he does very, very well, and what we're going to teach you, is how to raise your influence inside of power, inside of solar icons. Because all of a sudden you pop mentor, if no deals are coming in, what was the point? Like, you got a fancy name badge. We're here to get you guys paid, right? And so these are some of the blind spots that, once again, a lot of people aren't aware of. Chris, anything on those 2?
Yeah. So Aaron shared his income thus far into mentoring, and the only thing he covered was what he's tracking, right? And that's what his direct mentor deals are. What he's not tracking right now is a significant additional stream of income, because I've got probably 4 or 5 deals outside of our lineage from people in the company that have asked me to mentor deals that will be money and income for him as revenue share because of how all that works. So keep that piece in mind too, that the mentor plays a big play financially. And Aaron's going to cover a little bit of how the money flow works. It can work for you and it can work against you, but we are going to teach you how to, protect your money, as well as be able to make that money in your downline for them building mentors and them attracting people outside of our Solar Icons team.
Does everyone understand what he just said, though? I want to make sure, because it's really important. 4 of his contracts in the last 2 weeks came from people not inside Solar Icons. That only comes, my friends, from leadership. It comes from leading. People have to know you're a mentor. They have to know you're part of Solar Icons. So the 2 main buckets that we're going to attack, that I'm going to challenge all of you guys on, and this is going to be daily homework, is on our Solar Icons Facebook chat, the Facebook page. Someone welcome somebody. Like, this is our core group. We're gonna have expectations of each other, that we're praising that person, welcoming that person like they were your personal recruit, like they were your personal person that just popped tier 2. John Bobness gets it. We learned this in a different company. This is important, guys, really important. I'll give you an example. Selfishly, I hype up and I see a couple of my personal recruits here, I call it the Facebook chat and our Facebook page. I call it the $1 Million Mastermind. That's what I call it. Like, oh my gosh, fastest growing team in all of power. Facts, by the way, facts. I cannot wait to welcome you. And all of a sudden, Chris Hart and Katie liked it. Right? What is that? What does that new recruit feel? Like, is he like, dude, what $1 million? Like, this is ghost. Like, you can hear crickets here. So I want to challenge all of us. I'm not telling you to be on that chat all day long, by no stretch. Like, do what you got to do to make money. I get it. But if you're on there and you check it 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, it's not a whole bunch to go praise people. But that's going to start it. And then in terms of the power of Facebook page, if you're not on there, reach out to your sponsor. And if it's me, I apologize. I'll add you immediately. That's the corporate Facebook page. And we all have to get better at this. Chris and I included, of singing the praises, using the Solar Icons badge, everything. I want the company to know what each and every one of you guys are a part of. And that is for you, because that's how you start getting tagged. Like when Chris, by the way, every single Thursday invites people to our role play, invites people to the book club, because those are the open ones. We're purposeful about why we're doing that. Yes, we want to help people, but guess what? You're going to get tagged in deals, my friends. That's how you play that social game when you're maybe not the best recruiter. So there are still, I want to make sure that's not lost on anybody. There are several ways to do it, but you got to be known. You got to have influence. You got to lean in. Of course, I see a lot of heads. I absolutely love that. The other thing we want to touch on too is, and this does not apply today because we have the masterclass. Hopefully everyone blocked that. I know it's a 4-hour chunk and almost all of us are part-time. So do the best you can. But the information they're going to share, and you guys know I love to market stuff, so take it for what it is. I personally think it's the best masterclass we're going to have. Interest rates it's a crazy market right now. Chris and I talk every day about some of these mentor deals and how it's a little bit tougher right now to piece some of these together for the instant savings. The top 3 CEOs from the major banks that we use are going to be talking to us about what product they believe is best for our clients and how to sell it, how to piece it together. So this is a huge class. So do the best in your ability to be on there for whatever time block you can. I promise you it will be worth it. But normally on Wednesdays, guys, we have a breakthrough mastermind, and Chris and I have not been great about encouraging everyone to take this. I finally got Chris to take it last week. He was blown away. He had stopped talking about it for several days. So what this looks like, part of the reason we're purposeful, we're having our call from 11:30 to 12 Eastern. At 12 to 1 is the company led, typically by Jonathan, not Jonathan Budd, by I'm going blank. I'm so bad with names. One of my favorite leaders in the company. Hopefully Chris can.
Renato.
Charles Thompson.
What is it? Bunch. Thank you. Jim Bunch. Amazing guy. We had the privilege of hearing him at convention. Awesome dude. He runs this whole show. 12 to 1. So our expectation, guys, for those of you that can, to lean in on this, is to hop on that call. Once again, we're being purposeful why we're asking this, right? For one, that we're going to go over our KPIs. They typically do a 15-minute training by some of the best leaders in the entire company. There's gold right there. Then they do breakout rooms where they're going to put you in a room with typically 5 to 8 other people from across the country. We had a lot of people on our team last week on this call. I get goosebumps. We came back out of the breakout. It's a 30-minute breakout, intimate, smaller than this, right? You're going through your numbers, and you guys are going to be trained on this. We're going to do it at a high level. You're going over some struggles, some improvements. We're going to teach you guys how to solve problems for the people in this breakout. because if you start solving problems, they want to hear more from you, right? And so what happened last Wednesday was they pull everyone out of the breakout and they'll ask for a couple people to share ahas. No BS, no exaggeration. 80% of the people that talked referenced someone on this Solar Icons team. I saw Lisa there. I know Chris was there. I mean, we took over. What if we got purposeful when we changed our name where it said Lisa Bailey Harper Solar Icons? Like we're branding that. That's the beauty of what you guys are a part of. It's the fastest growing organization in the entire company. Like, be so freaking proud of that. And so that mastermind, not only is it training for you, but it's how you increase your influence. It's how you also start to lead, how you problem solve, how you get someone that never collected a bill in 2 minutes to give them enough motivation, enough courage to go do something they didn't believe they could do without you. Think about that. Think about that, my friends. Chris, and then I'll come back to you, Bryce.
Yeah, real quick, guys. If you don't think that Charles Thompson, Jonathan Budd, Bobby Smith aren't all tracking what we're building right now, you're wrong. Like, we are on people's radar. There are people in this company that don't acknowledge us because they're scared of us. Okay. And that's not to brag. That's not to be pompous, but they see what we're building. They see how fast we're doing it. We're building a brand, right? It's not just for us. Like, we're not putting our names on it. This is for all of you guys. So be proud of what you guys are a part of and associate to that, because when you start associating to that and people see what we're doing, they may not be able to join it, but they want to be a part of it somehow. And that's where you'll start getting the mentor deals. That's where you can start inviting them to Monday and Friday. Be the person that adds value to other people, but do it from coming from a strong brand that's being built in this company right now.
I love that. I'll come to you in 1 second, Bryce. So one of the things I did was on the call, I say recruited, they're already sellers, right? Just outside of our team. To a lot of people were struggling with scripts. Like, that is a major pain point for most. And I said, oh my gosh, do you guys role play? And they're like, what? Like, we're orphans. We don't have an upline. I share that for a couple of reasons. One is most don't have what we have. In fact, nobody else does. Keep it real. So I said, well, guys, we open it up just because you're not in our team. I'd love to have you on our role play. We had guests show up on Friday. Chris led the thing. He's going to get tagged with them. I'm freaking okay with that. Like, it was that easy. We just shared something we were doing. They're blown away. And by the way, in fact, we did. One of the guys I met in the group sent me a text right after and said, I'm tagging you in my next deal. I wasn't able to do the time, so Chris got it. Like, how freaking cool is that? All from hopping on and helping people. Bryce, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna throw my 2 cents in. I mean, I haven't closed a deal yet, so I'm a little bit lagging behind on some of these metrics, but I can confirm what you guys are saying. Just if people want to hear someone else's approval, because I've come from a different organization where really it is the intercompany politics that, when played right, really play into your benefit, because, then at a larger scale, then you have people that are able to come to your office and speak. They can jump on your trainings and speak. You cross pollinate, or, you cross promote each other's posts. You get more interaction online. So, and then the whole concept that you are talking about is being, generating a pool of people that are wanting to tag you on deals. I can definitely confirm that that's a quick way to increase your outreach for sure.
Very, very well said, man. Very, very well said. John Bobness.
Mr. Browning, nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you.
This is exciting, man. This is exciting. This is great. I hope all these people are pumped up and ready to go. I had this happen to me last week when I was on that call too. I didn't get on the main stage like you guys had, but I did have my hand up, and I had somebody, 2 people wanted to tag me in deals. And I go, that is great. I am not a tier 3 mentor yet. I go, but you are absolutely welcome to join us for anything, because it's that abundant mindset that seems to be missing in every business. So I think we're bringing that in full force here. And I think it's really making a wave. I'm excited about that. When you have Chris and you have guys like me out there championing this. And it's really neat because it's contagious. People are excited that, why are these guys giving so much of their time and their energy and effort? It's like, why are you helping? It's like, of course we're helping. We're here to help everybody. The world's abundant. We got more business than we can possibly handle. Shit, man, we're at 96% market share availability. Let's go get it. Let's all do it together. Let's all be solar millionaires together. So this is exciting. Glad to be part of the group.
Appreciate your energy as always, man. Chris, do you want to kick that topic off, or you want me to?
Oh, dang, dude. You give me the kick in the nuts.
I can do it if you want.
Now, hey guys, check it out. There's something that very few people know. Aaron and I don't want to take credit for this, but A number of years ago, Aaron and I were in a coaching relationship together, and I taught him, I said, follow the money, right? And it's a topic, when you understand how money flows and you can get in the middle of it, that's how you win and create wealth. Right. And all through the years, whatever business ventures we've ever gotten into, we've always tracked, how does the money flow? How does it work? There's something that we found in this company that most people, I'll tell you right now, do not know. And one of the big things is when you're doing a mentor deal, what happens is that money gets split off the top 50-50, 50% to the mentee, 50% to the mentor. Right. And if you use a mentor outside your lineage, guess what happens? That 50%, right? When that money gets split 70-30, that goes to their upline. Right. And so what happens? Yeah. A lot of people are like, really? So what does that look like? Right. Let's say, for instance, you guys are under Aaron's lineage, okay, directly, and you use a mentor outside of Aaron's organization or above him. What happens is all that money that would have stayed in our organization, half of that goes away. Okay. Why is that important? One, as guys, we're here to lead you, right? And the reason why is because this model financially rewards us too. Okay. So when you guys bypass us, not that we're going to get mad, but just understand, like, hey, we're here to lead you and we're here to do the right thing by you. And we don't think you want to do it purposefully, but understand you do thwart the money chain. Why is that important for you? You're probably like, Chris, you're talking about your money. How's that important to me? Same thing's going to happen when you build a business. If you're out there recruiting and you're doing the blood, sweat, and tears and the cries, at night, why isn't anybody joining my organization? And you finally get that one person. And that one person brings 3, and that person brings 5. And next thing you know, you got 25 people in your organization, and you're a tier 3 mentor, and they go outside of you. And you're like, wait a second, man, I did all the work. Now that mentor and their upline benefits from my work. Understand something. One thing about business is you always have to protect your profits, right? So we're not going to say you can't use anybody outside of our organization. We're just saying, if you see value in what your leaders, your direct upline leaders are doing for you, and they are a mentor that you trust, use that person. Because we're also going to share that ideology when you guys are building your teams, so that that money gets protected in your organization as well. Does that make sense? Anybody lost on that? Okay, Aaron, you want to touch more on that?
Yeah, it's once again, I don't, outside of JC Rangel, I don't think there's anyone else in the company that knows that that's how the comp plan works, and it's not a bad thing. You just one of the things Chris taught me actually years ago is I can play any game as long as I know the rules. Right? I just got to know the rules. So you're going to see us talking about our mentors, and we're going to be like parading them. By the way, Chris and I, they're pushing us to start leading the Monday national recruiting calls. I don't know if you guys have seen the trend. When they ask a speaker to come on, typically they're bringing 2 to 4 of their teammates. That's the other reason why we got to start having more success stories. I can bring Lisa Bailey, Chris can bring Ray, Anne Marie, Terry Thomas, right? That's part of it. It's that borrowed influence of being part of a massive organization. So we're really excited about that byproduct as well. Bryce.
Yeah, another 2 cents. I'm not trying to, take this show, but from what I've known in this specific vein of conversation from a larger organization is we really, for all of us that are on Solar Icons, we're all very closely direct to like Aaron and Chris. And the sooner they get to $1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, like, if you're like 2, 3, 4, whatever lines down from Aaron and Chris, you want your upline making a lot of money, because the closer you are to a millionaire just means that you're that much closer in line to becoming the next. So promoting up is really what allows the cohesion of the group to allow things to explode like you poured gasoline on it.
Love that, man. The one thing I'll add to that, though, and it's power. I've never seen anything like it where so many people can win at the same time. I've been a part of some massive teams that I've built, and typically you have 1 or 2 people winning. Guys, we have people in their first month making $35,000. Someone I signed 3 weeks ago, like stupid. Maureen has 37,000 or something under contract in 4 weeks. Like, we have so many people winning at a really high level. So the other piece with this is, especially if you're a recruiter, somebody who's me personally, and Chris will echo this. I could not handle all the deals I was tagged on. You still come to us, tag them, because we're going to find somebody. So Chris got an added benefit. He had an opening on 2 of the days. I don't even know how many appointments you got. I would think 3 or 4 that were signed just from overflow. So just by being in here, I'm not promising everybody on this call everything, so don't take it that way. But those that show up like a Chris Hart that are on the Facebook, helping people, answering questions, you're going to get deals. It is plain and simple. Terry Thomas?
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, just with what you were talking about, we're getting 2 and now 3 high-level coaching calls for free a week, from, our 2 leaders here. So you got to reward them, for these efforts that I used to pay thousands of dollars for coaching calls that I'm not paying for now in the real estate business.
Yeah. Love it, man. It is 12 o'clock, so I do want to get all of us, Chris, I'll let you close, over to that masterclass. Super important. You go to power.com. It's on the left. It's Power Live. We all have access to this now. If this is your first one, you'll be blown away. I mean, they do it right. Like I said, do the best you can. If you have to jump off for a second because of work, hop back on. Take a smoke break, take a car break, lunch break, whatever you got to do to be on there. Chris?
Yeah, I just want to touch on that topic one more time. Aaron asked me, he said, Chris, well, why wouldn't you do the same thing, as far as me as your mentor? If anybody, you can't service your downline and they come to me, you're going to get cut out. And I said, Aaron, what you don't understand is you provide a lot of leadership value. I could literally take a week off. I could take a month off and know that my sponsor can continue to grow my business and keep my people actively engaged. And I'm 100% okay if my people do come to you. It's when people aren't adding value to our team and they're getting the monetary value, that's where, there's an issue. So understand, plugging into this creates massive value as a whole. Guys, we're bought into this. We're going to take this to the top, and we want to bring you guys along with us. So appreciate y'all.
Appreciate all of you guys, by the way. You guys kicked butt. I'm going to share the KPI thing that starts today. We're going to be dropping all bombs all day long, every day on that private Facebook group. So make sure you have notifications turned on. I'll see you guys at the masterclass.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bye.